All right, welcome to Health Second Opinion. Dr. Chad McDill here with you again, talking about some principles and some truths that help you with your commitment to health. One of the things I've been, of course, reflecting back and forth all day long and thinking about, I actually wasn't able to get as prepared for this show today as I often am. And so as I go down the rabbit holes of thought here, we can get the extra sun and the sweat that's from sitting outside of Economy Honda all day, waiting on the car's recalls to get done. And it allowed me time just to reflect and think and really decide about this is about what your commitments are. What are you committed to? And I got to watch a great video by Dr. Charles Majors here just a few minutes ago, and his communication on commitment, because that guy was just a fierce warrior for the principles of health and truth and chiropractic and just life. It's so awesome when you can get a little fire back from people. And I hope that I'm able to transmit some of that for you today in this commitment. We think about, like, when I met my wife, 6 months later, I was married to her. And in that beginning phases, there was this amazing commitment. It was like, man, I can't wait to see her and just see her again. And, what can I rearrange to get there earlier and all of these things. And there was just this, I would reorganize anything to get to spend a little more time. Well, when we think about one of the things that, as I stay committed to that relationship, we have to think about the things that we're committed to in our lives. And, and think about your commitment to your health. What is that going to be? What is your commitment to? Are you committed to your family? When you think about that, are you committed to your church? Are you committed to your wife? Are you committed to your, what is it? And then with that commitment comes the question of what are you willing to do to get it? And so many days, like today, after sitting outside and sweating all day, waiting on a car since 9:30 this morning, I don't feel that committed to going out and working out. But I understand that that's one of the things that I need to do on a daily basis to get myself in shape, which I am committed to staying on the principles of health and wellness so that I can be a better accustomed and have better experience to commit to helping other people. And what is your doctor committed to? A lot of you may not, you might be tuning in, you might be watching this later, and I might not be your chiropractor. And one of the things is that you have to ask, what is your team committed to, and what is your life committed to, and who's supporting you on that mission that we call our lives? And so many of us relegate, myself included, on certain days, will relegate or pigeonhole, chiropractic to healthcare, and that's just not the case. One of the biggest things that I am committed to is the clarification of the purpose of chiropractic, and that is to helping people live to their life potential, and that is that every single part of your life is affected by your function. Literally, the function of your body. If you get on to let's say, all right, earlier today, waiting outside of Economy Honda, I was like, playing with my son and my 3-year-old Macklin, and all of a sudden, I was able to run around and play ball, and I wanted to stay committed to making that time as good as possible for him, because it was already miserable, and we didn't want to be inside participating in changing the environment or our environment to suit us, via being stuck inside with a bunch of people wearing masks and propagating fear and confusion. When the fact is, so we stayed outside in the heat and played ball and ran around, and I knew that I could stay committed to my son in that time period, and that commitment would help me with him, and we could turn something negative this endless sea of time into something positive. And so when you think about your team, your healthcare team, is your healthcare team committed to keeping you at your best for your life potential, not just your health potential? Because, when we think about our lives and how how our health affects us, it isn't just about, how you feel. That's one of the greatest misconceptions about chiropractic and about back pain and about all the things that people go to is that so many people come in expecting to have a cure to their symptoms. And so, but the curing of a symptom is not the end all be all of health. If we look back at the World Health Organization definition of health, it's a state of optimal physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And so with that, are you committed to just being symptom free? Are you committed to being healthy? Are you committed to being at your max potential? What is that commitment with you? And then what are you doing to reach that? And then who's on the team to help you? One of the biggest things that I like to ask people, and that I understand a lot of people, they come into my office and they're referred. Approximately 80% of our office or my office is a referral office. And so people come in and one of the first things that we ask them is why are you here? And most often they'll say it was so-and-so got results. And I'll ask, well, what were those results? And they'll say, well, they got help with their back pain. And yeah, well, what did that get them? Oh my gosh, like he is so much more energetic and happy at work. Okay, and then what did that get him? And oh, well, you know what? He talks now about riding his Harley, and a specific example, I won't share his name, but he rode to Lynchburg this past weekend and spent time at this Harley rally, and he was able to ride, able to have fun, able to get there and back, and not be in pain and not have those problems. And so what did that get him? And then now what is he committed to? Because very soon, actually, next visit, as a matter of fact, we're going to be talking about what is the next level for this person. And then, so what is that for you? Why do I keep speaking about things and your commitment to health? It's more about commitments to your goals, commitments to your life. What did you decide way back when, I think of, and I've got to myself, I'm re-engaging in some of these things that have questioned my commitment in recent past. Let me see here if I'm getting some. Yes. Let's see here. Sorry. Some questions here. Got it. Sorry about that. Let me answer this. There we go. And then I can answer it online. There we go. So the question being that, so what are we committed to? What are you going to do? And what were you when you were thinking about your ideal self and where you were going to make it in this life? And then what has derailed you lately? So let me go pre-COVID. This is that, last year, a lot of people think that I've got a lot of new patients. They come in and it's they expect their doctor to be perfect. And, as most of you are my patients know, that that's not this guy. And the fact is that, whether it was at age 20 and compression fractures of T4 and T7, or it was the transfer trailer accident where I ruptured discs and tore muscles and stayed in the hospital. And then, during that year of being around 20 years old, was in bed for 9 months, and then took the rest of the year to get to walking again. And, there was this massive amount of time. And then go back to last year, pre-COVID, bam, a torn meniscus and a ruptured right rotator cuff, all within a couple of months of each other. And so I've finally gotten back to, and you might have seen the previous video on Facebook that said that, hey, I'm back to doing pull-ups. And, why am I so jazzed about that I would put that out on Facebook is that, well, since November or just the week before Thanksgiving of last year, my shoulder couldn't even hold my body weight, much less pull me up. And I'm committed to getting back to being able to do 19 in a row, simply because that's the most I've ever been able to do. And I want to get back to that ideal picture of myself for the purpose of being my best, and so that I can help deliver the best. And so that you, as people watching this and people experiencing wanting life, that commitment is, something personal to me. It's my personal fitness commitment. It's one of those things that I'm working towards. And the question becomes I was derailed, talking about, massive reconstructive surgery to a shoulder, and then lots of therapy and things going on with my knee. And that was a derailment. And then now we've had this coronavirus that has derailed a lot of us and our commitments to ourselves. And that's one of the things that I think that we have to check in with, and check our hearts and check our minds, and say to ourselves, how am I going to get recommitted? And then what do I want? Okay, I've had a timeout. We've all had this kind of beep. We're going to take some time out. What are you going to get back committed to? And then why are you committing to that? What's it going to get you? Every patient that comes into my office, they may say, hey, I'm here because I've got back pain and it's killing me and I just want to feel better. But why do you want to feel better? What is it that's going to allow you to get? And then what are you going to do with that? And then what difference is that going to make in your life? And the further along that we can get ourselves in the communication with these thoughts is that this then allows you to anchor to the things that will really motivate you when times get tough. And just like, let me see why they're continue to so, and I'll answer that question here in just a minute, but it's great to be live and having questions come in. Should you want to shoot me a text, you can text questions to this number right here. Those that have been watching already have my phone number, and so they're texting me questions. And so as you come along with these things, one of the biggest things that I find is so awesome is that right now is just another wave of people who are so amazed at the fact that the processes that we have guarantee someone the best opportunity to get back into their best life potential. And I think that right now we're more aware, just like I posted on Facebook just a little while ago, about how 94% of those people who have died from COVID-19 have had at least 2 other comorbidities. And I think that is the, that's a amazing statistic. And so what are you going to do to be in, the percentage of people who don't have those things, so that you are minimizing, your not only your immediate risks, but your lifetime risks, and your cumulative survival potential. I love that word. Thank you, Dr. Soup. Cumulative survival potential. What are you and your family doing to allow yourselves to be at this amazing threshold, so that whether it is a virus, a bacteria, whether it is anything that you come in contact with, getting in a car accident, getting into, one of the great reminders is many of you might remember Mike Lawson getting in his massive razor accident. And they were talking about, the surgeons and the people were saying that, good Lord, if you hadn't been such a huge, muscular, and also flexible, athletic person, it would have killed anyone else due to what it did to him. And so what are we going to do to reach our potential so that, again, our cumulative survival potential is there? And that's the beautiful thing about Max Living, and the reason that I chose it for my family about 5 years ago now. And, so to get back to example, has allowed me to lose 40 pounds and then maintain most of it off most of the time during the last year. Then about 10 of it creep back on that I'm going to be getting off now that I can exercise again. Back to that commitment principle. Start by analyzing yourself as to what is the thing that is limiting your life potential and your health potential the most. Most people, it's their mindset. It's the fact that, we defeat ourselves. We say we can't. We have these things that we say are, I've got this degeneration, like I could list mine. Oh, I've got compression fractures of 2 vertebrae, and I've got these degenerated discs, and I've got a knee surgery and a shoulder surgery, and I've had 5 concussions, and I've had, all of these different things that I could list out as limiting factors to my commitment to my physical fitness or my health and why I should quit. So what are yours? What are the lies that you're telling yourself that justify your ability to give up on your dreams? That's the question. Then what are you going to do to change it? Who are you going to surround yourself with that is going to help you defeat that? That's one of the things that we do for our patients here at Max Living, our chiropractic care in Trenton, Georgia, and Dr. Moss's office there in Canton, is that, it's about creating this environment where we expect people to get better, where we expect things to improve, where we expect you to live to your life potential, your health potential, and your children to learn how to do that. And we expect to change your family tree. Is that what your doctor expects for you? Or are they giving you drugs and predicting surgeries to help you feel better while you die sooner? It's a question. Who's on your team? Who's going to give you what you really need? Not what you need to feel better, but what you need to be better, what you need to be healthy, a condition of optimal physical, mental, and social, I would add spiritual well-being, so that you're at an optimal function. Who's helping you measure that? And then after your mindset check, what's going to be how do you connect your mind to your body? If your spine is subluxated and it is out of alignment, choking off the life force connection to your brain and your body, from your brain to your body, then nothing works right. We're this huge, amazing, on average, something like 70 trillion cells, right? And each one's its own tiny little universe and its own engine and its own everything. And then it's interacting with other cells to form tissues form organs form organ systems, and all of those systems are organized to create this living being. And it's done by our innate intelligence. It's done by our soul, whatever you want to name it, that is nameless and formless and is in all of us everywhere but nowhere. And it's running our body using this electrical system to regulate all other systems. If it fails, you fail. If it's 80%, you're at 80%. And it doesn't matter what else you do. It doesn't matter how much you organic nutrition, how much you exercise, how much you stretch, how much you massage, how much you pray, how much I take that one back. I think that God can supersede and make miracles happen at any moment in time. So I think that it's more of this, it's the logical ways that we've set up the world, that God made the world, and these principles like gravity that we all have to adhere to on a daily basis, that we all have to stay committed to dealing with those principles that govern our health, is a more accurate way of saying that. And so that being said, when was the last time you had your spine checked? When was the last, do you even know if your life is being choked off? by subluxations. If you don't, and if you haven't been checked in a Max Living office, well, there's two great ones that you can dial the number, whichever one you're closest to, and you can get a checkup in our offices and find out what the state of affairs is, what's the state of the union in your body, such that is going to make everything else you do, either if it's bad, it's going to make everything you do, everything else, like your nutrition, your exercise, your detox, your mindset, less effective. If you're improving your nerve system, then it's going to make every single thing you do more effective. That's the truth. It's done. It's going to be true forever. One of the things me and my son, I was talking to him, he's like, Dad, why do you love being a chiropractor so much? You know, it's story time every night, you know, when I'm putting him to bed, my son Jonah. And he's 9 and curious, and he says, and why do you love being a chiropractor so much? I said, well, because it doesn't change. Always improving the human body is always going to make things better. And the more we're in alignment with the principles that allow our bodies to be healthy, you know, removing interference to how our bodies function and just letting them do their thing, it's always going to be better. Because you know what, son, science changes, and but truth and principles don't. And you know, the Earl of Loxley and George Washington and these people, like, you know, famous people, they died of bloodletting, and that was the science of the day. You know, at one point in time, we believed the world was flat. You know, and you know, people were heretics, and at least they were able to have some discussion. And we got to that point where we thought we were free, and then now it's being taken from us via censorship, and people are being shut down on objective debate because it doesn't. This is how we debate now. It's out here on social media that can be deemed not true due to the norm right now. But we know the norm in the science of today will be laughed at 100 years from now, just the same way that the science of bloodletting is you know, absolutely absurd now. If somebody's sick, you would never just drain their blood, right? You know, nowadays they might give them new blood, or they might do a transfusion or plasma or antibiotics or whatever. You know, there's something else that will be laughed at 100 years from now. But what won't be laughed at is that a better sound body with less interference from toxicity, with less interference from a sick mindset, with less interference between the brain-body connection and an optimum nerve flow, and less interference from toxicity in our food and the cosmetics that we use, and you know, and more cardiovascular fitness and muscular strength, that all those things will always help make us better. So why not work on building man up to suit his environment instead of trying to change his environment to suit man, to quote B.J. Palmer. And so when we think back on these things, what are you committed to? What are you wanting to change? And then how are you going to do it? And who's going to support you? And what is the office that allows you to get what you need in all 5 essentials, folks? You know, I love this. My son actually is the one, again, Jonah, he said, Dad, that gives you a grip on your health. You know, if the 5 essentials, you can grip your health. I was like, man, it's freaking awesome, son. You're really thinking about this stuff. And you know, I love that, because again, how are you going to get a grip on your health? And what are you going to do to get back re-engaged to the commitments that are why? So I can jump on the trampoline with my daughter, who's only 3 months old, when she's 10 years old, 20 years old. So I can be able to play soccer the way I can with Macklin and Jonah and Wade. So I can still shoot ball. So that I can still take them and hike and go mountain biking. Because that's what brings us joy and laughter and makes life very fulfilling and amazing. And then being a part of helping others get that out of their lives and reach their max potential,
I mean, that's chiropractic. That's life. That's what I'm committed to. And that's what I want to be on other people's healthcare team. I want them to have someone in their life who can screen through some of the fads and the lotions and the potions and different things and help teach them how to fish instead of giving them a fish, like a pill or a potion or a lotion, and say, this is the cure all for everything. You know, it's not. The only thing that cures anything is the body itself. The body healing. Health comes from one place, and that's inside the body. If you cut your arm, it doesn't just heal. Those cells that were destroyed by the cut, they die off. They're replaced by new living tissue. And it's your body that regenerates that. And it does so better with less interference from the brain-body connection in the form of subluxations. And that's why every person needs to be under regular lifetime chiropractic care for no other reason than that, so that their bodies have the best chance to function at 100%. And then they need real nutritional advice that can, again, help them get that 70-80% of their nutrition from living whole foods, and the rest from meat and dairy and nuts and seeds and things. You know, these are the things that, and what phase do they need to do that in, and do they need the advanced plan or the core plan, and you know, how are they going to cook like that and shop like that, and all of that is just a part of being a patient in our offices. And then what is the right type of exercise for you right now to get you the fastest way to your goals, so that you can get back in to the activities that you want to be in, and so that you can feel inspired and committed to be back with whatever that is that you want to do, your life potential. And then, you know, how are you going to get rid of the crap that we come in contact with, you know, from the junk? The, you know, number one toxin in the world today is pharmaceuticals. Number two, it might be number one, sugar, and then medications second, if not first, seeing as how on average there's 13.5 prescriptions per man, woman, and child. That means some people are a lot more toxic than others. And so then, you know, how are we going to help you get rid of that junk to remove that interference? And then how are we going to help you allow you to reach your mindset potential, so that you can, again, learn how to fish, make these decisions for yourself, weed through all of the junk that's out there. And I want to just say right now, you know, I want to give an awesome shout out here to my wife, who's amazing in her commitment to wanting to understand things from just a real life principle and perspective, and always wanting to just know the information. It helps us weed through all of the political mumbo jumbo that's out there right now, and how everybody's spinning everything. And so let's stay committed to our principles that will always work and will never fail. And that is, a healthier you is always going to be a better you. And if you would like a doctor that's committed to that cause and committed to that purpose, then you need a Max Living Chiropractor as your doctor. And if you're in the tri-state area, it's me. If you're in the Canton, Atlanta area, there's Dr. Moss's number. So give us a call. Make sure we sign up your whole family for a new patient appointment to get evaluated, and then we'll help you stay committed to the best version of you. And I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same channel, in the commitment to health, a second opinion.